Hello and welcome. Welcome to the new moon gathering, wisdom gathering. It is Gemini new moon, June 6th today, 6th of the month. 6. Yeah, so the new moon actually just passed a few hours ago. And yeah, so let's just tune into that energy and I would like to invite you to just settle in to the space and let's do a little grounding meditation. Let's see where it takes us. Okay, so get comfortable in your seat. And if you feel like it, you can close your eyes. And feel your belly moving when you breathe in and out. Just a slow rhythm, your natural rhythm. Just pay attention to that for a little while. We have some airy energy going on at the moment. And yeah, I would like to invite you to tap into that. But first, I would also like to invite you to feel your feet on the ground. Feel them firmly planted there. You're grounded. You're connected to the earth, to Mother Nature, to Mother Earth herself. She holds you each and every day, every moment that you wander this earth. Just feel her. Feel her rhythm combined with your own rhythm. And now take in a deep breath, filling all of your belly and letting it rise up and up and up as far as it goes, as far as it's comfortable. And then slowly release it. Release any tension you might still be feeling from this day. Any things you might be focusing on that are in the future of today. They are not now, so just release them with your breath. And another deep breath in. And once you feel you're full, then just hold it a little and let it go again slowly and slowly. And with every breath you take, you release a little bit more tension and feel a little bit more relaxed. Your body softens and you let go. Feel the air energy wandering through your whole body, your system. And if you feel anything that is a bit tense at the moment in your body, you might like to direct your breath to this area. And let it soften that space. Let it bring in new and fresh energy and release the stagnation. And keep on focusing on your breath as it comes in and out in your own natural rhythm. And if you notice any thoughts coming up, direct your breath towards these thoughts and let them clear them on the out breath. Breathing any thoughts out and into the atmosphere. The most important part is that you focus on being present in this moment, in your body, right here, right now. And any thoughts, any feelings that might be disruptive, just let them go on the next out breath. And on the in breath, just feel fresh energy coming into your body, filling your lungs, filling your vessels and all of your veins. Helping your system transport all the information that needs to go around your body, your system, your nervous system. And with every breath you take, you release a little bit more and relax just a little bit more. And if it feels comfortable, I would like to invite you to see or feel, sense, whichever you prefer, a gate, a threshold you can cross, an open space in nature, a wide and expansive space. And you stand in the middle of this space and you feel the winds picking up, a slight breeze getting a little bit stronger, stronger. And you can feel the air swirling around you, clearing your space, your inner mental space, and transporting it away into the atmosphere. Connect with the element of air, with the winds coming from directions north, east, south, west, whichever. Is the wind warm? Is it cool? What quality does it have right now? And if this feels at all comfortable, let yourself be dissolved and carried away by the winds. And if not, just stay where you are and notice and be present. And if you are dissolving and giving yourself up to the winds, just notice from a bird's eye view where it's going to carry you, where it wants you to go, what it wants you to see. And slowly and ever so gently, you're put together again on the ground firmly in a new space. What do you see around you? What's surrounding you? And slowly you notice that the wind is taking shape and form. Let it be anything that comes up, any shape, any form, any color. Approach it and sense any message that is coming through for you. Message from the winds, the element of air. What do you need to know right now? And how does this message reflect your new surroundings? And wherever you are, you see the threshold, and you can cross it and slowly come into the space again. You feel your feet on the ground, you feel your surroundings. And with your next breath, feel all of your body again. Move your feet, move your hands, fingers, your shoulders, and be present again in this space. And in your time, open your eyes. Are we all back?
Somewhat. I felt like I was floating off in space. It was lovely.
Good.
And the wind is so strong here. My door, one window is open, and I have a lot of bells and everything going on all the time out there. And I just took off, and I don't think I'm all the way back. I think I'm still partially out there, so I kind of need to pull myself. I was like in a tornado, kind of.
Mm.
Interesting.
Mm.
Well, I was partially underground,
Mm.
but yeah, like a cave, but I could see and feel the wind coming in. So I wasn't fully out there. It was partly down under,
Mm.
but it looked
Interesting.
green out there. But the cave is the cave over here.
Mm.
Mm.
Still firmly grounded. I like that. Yeah. Mm. So, how are you doing with this Gemini new moon energy going on. Gemini sun, Gemini moon. I think there's plenty other celestial beings, bodies in Gemini right now. So
Lots.
we have yeah, Gemini, I must admit, is not one of my not one of the signs that I really connect with. And I always have a hard time when the moon is actually in Gemini. So I need to step back a bit and keep myself grounded, remind myself to, yeah, feel my body. Um, and yeah, so how do you experience this kind of energy at the moment, the moon in Gemini particularly?
Well, I experience it by, I think probably I start with the mental connections because I do have, along with Gemini, I have all the other air signs in my chart. So I'm kind of used to having an air energy, and I literally recognize that I think things through before I feel. I mean, I feel, but my first thing, because I do have a trine with the, like I said, I got all three elements, air signs. So that's my first connection, is to think it through. And then, of course, I have my ascendant in Gemini. So you see, I have a real hookup with it, but it's squaring this other stuff. So I am literally having to go back and forth. I spend my life moving back and forth between, okay, what is the thoughts, but what's the heart of the matter at the same time? So that's the question I'm always asking myself. What's the heart of the matter?
Mm. Yeah. I hardly have any air. So
Mm-hmm.
in my chart. So that's yeah, the air signs are definitely a challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
Something I have a hard time connecting with. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I just, yeah.
Well, it's interesting, Alexandra, you should say that because there's this lady, she's very um, personable. She's in my drum circle group, and she has moon in Gemini, and I I have it's a kind of a unique way of connecting with her because I always feel that she's standing and looking at me, and it's like she's asking a question, but she doesn't say it out loud. That that's my only description with another person who actually has that as an active part of the personality.
Hmm.
That's how it feels to me.
Hmm. Yeah, so there's the intuitive part from the moon and then the inquisitive part from Gemini coming together.
Hmm. That's right.
And maybe, yeah, mentally communicating
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
her questions, or yeah,
And
that's
she just sort of
interesting.
stands. She just stands and kind of looks at me, you know. And basically, I've embraced her, and she always is very helpful. But I have this. It's a palpable kind of feeling that I have, and so that's my description of Gemini in a actual person.
Oh,
Yeah.
hmm.
And it's going to be sitting on her this new moon is going to be sitting on her moon in Gemini because she has so
Mhm.
I haven't seen her in a couple of days, so it'll be interesting to see how she deals with this energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm meeting up with a friend tomorrow for lunch, and she is Scorpio, but her rising is Gemini, and it's interesting. how we differ. She's very she needs things she needs to find a more logical and rational thing explanation for life. Whereas I'm more the water, complete water energy that's like it is what it is, it just flow. And there's that air and the mind coming in, which I'm basically missing. So it's interesting to see how we differ. Two Scorpios, but still
It's her moon is in Gemini too. She's a sun sign Scorpio with moon
I don't know where her
in
moon is. I can't
oh,
remember.
oh,
I can't remember her moon. But I know that she's a Gemini rising, so
oh yeah. Now that's interesting because I'm a Gemini rising, but I go in on the feeling level a lot of the time
mhm.
because of all the Pisces, you see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, she does that as well, but it has to, there's like a constant need for explanation.
See,
Yes.
I am one of those people that ask 1,000 questions. I do have like a lot of signs in Aquarius.
Yes. Yes.
Nothing in well, I have the IC, whatever that is, in Gemini. What is the
Well,
IC?
that's an important angle. That's an
The
important angle.
yeah, but I have a lot of things, so I question everything also. You know, my daughter was born on May 21st, so I tell you, she has the mind of a Gemini where I really feel that she communicates unbelievably, but she is very Taurus in her actions as well. So she is right there on that cusp, and I can see both, you know, definitely both. I don't remember what her other chart, the rest of her chart is like. If you do like a Joytish chart or Vedic astrology, she is definitely Taurus and not Gemini, but some just, you know, that May 21st, some consider her Gemini, some consider her Taurus. So,
Well, it's actually where the sun was sitting at that time, depending on if somebody's using whole signs, if somebody's using
right,
equal house.
right.
But in general, you can't be two things. You can be 0 degrees. My sister is the same. She's exactly the day your sister, 21st.
May
But
21st.
yes, but I can see the Gemini. She's got the long body, but she's got a moon in Cancer. So when people say that, I think it's important to look at like the moon sign and look at
Right.
other parts because you can't be two things. I mean,
Well, it depends. What I was saying in Vedic astrology, she is Taurus. But you know, some people do not do the East, you know, the Eastern
okay.
astrology. So,
Well, Vedic moves everybody over. Each one of us would be a different thing
I mean,
in Vedic.
I'm an Aquarius moon, and the moon is the most important thing in the Vedic astrology. So I'm not a Pisces moon. I'm an Aquarius moon. So you're right, it moves it over. But
In Western, are you a Pisces sun? I mean, Pisces moon?
yeah,
Western?
Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. So all three,
Oh,
yes.
interesting.
But yeah, so it's interesting. I feel okay in Gemini. I feel okay. This moon, actually got quite a few things done today. Accomplished, motivated. Had to trim a tree. I didn't like that, but we had to. So watered flowers, did all that good stuff this morning out there. Let the wind just blow. So yeah.
You got that air. See, air on air is a friend. That's very friendly to you. You know,
Yeah.
this Gemini energy coming in with your your Aquarius, that definitely gives you a good
Yeah.
lightness to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So-
How about you, Karen?
To say, I have a lot of air signs. I'm Aquarius, Aquarius rising, Libra moon, and I'm married to a Gemini with a Libra moon. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
air. We're in our heads a lot. And so it feels comfortable. And I also have a lot of fire and water, of no earth in my chart.
Huh.
It's kind of interesting.
I
And
don't think Mayruth has much earth either, do you?
I don't, not by sign, but there are hidden, see, the thing that happens is there are hidden spaces. We think we don't, I mean, we obviously by sign I don't, but there is some earthy energy, but it's hidden. You see, it's more hidden. I should say it's more hidden.
Same here. Yeah.
You don't have any by sign either, Alexander?
I only have one, a Jupiter in Taurus. That's it.
Okay, okay. So
That's
you just had a Taurus return.
I did.
I mean a Jupiter
I
return.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just coming out of that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which is right. So Jupiter is coming into Gemini now.
It's there.
It's
In
there.
fact,
It's very. Mhm.
In fact, I was writing, I got this download in my latest podcast. That's what I was doing, writing about a trip, being on a trip. We're all on a trip with Jupiter as the visioning planet. And so, because we're going to have this Gemini energy this whole year, really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's going to be each person's new trip? That's that's the question I'm asking. We're all on a new trip.
Yeah.
Unique
Yeah, so we
unique to
have-
each person.
Oh, definitely. So there's what? Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and the moon in Gemini,
And the
correct?
sun,
sun.
right?
And the sun.
Sun and the sun.
All right
Wow.
today. And so you Aquarius, I know Karen's having a ball with all that air energy. Yeah,
it just feels at home.
yeah,
Feels like home.
Yeah, which makes sense. Because it would be in my 8th house.
hmm
So yeah, my interest in things market and finance and things like that. Um, wanting to learn a lot in that direction.
That's right, right.
Yeah,
Wherever.
so that's definitely a theme for this year. Yeah.
And what I was talking about is that it's very important for all of us to clear up, quote unquote, the Gemini energy that's the shadow, can be scattered, but it's really important to focus in. Let Saturn and Pisces help to focus in. Let that square help to focus us in.
Well, I think
And
that Jupiter will do that as well because they
well,
like
it will,
pinpoint
but
things.
right, but it's going to. What I was going to say with it's going to magnify things.
Yeah.
So let the Saturn pinpoint and let the Jupiter expand it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting constellation this year. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can take all your stuff that you've been doing with that Taurus on the road now. You can have Alexander's tour this year.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. Anything else you'd like to share?
Oh, we get to play a lot because Gemini likes to play.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to play a lot this year.
Yeah.
It's time to play after,
And
the past 3 years or 4 years. Play.
play and also short trips
hmm
with Jupiter coming into.
hmm
So it's more of the short term traveling and yeah, learning new things, definitely.
hmm
And what was I going to say here? Yeah, like you said, and then expanding on those experiences. Where Gemini is quick to go from one thing to the next, I think
That's
Cancer
me.
will be expansive on one topic and not.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, it's an interesting energy happening here today. This year. Mhm. Hmm. Aaron, do you have any stone? Did
I
something come
do.
forward that will help us navigate through this?
Well, and it's interesting that the ones that came forward today were wind elemental stones. And I thought maybe I needed, but it must be because I kind of like to be in that windy area myself too. So I was more comfortable with that coming in. And I had two that came in. And I have a different scolasite, which this one's in matrix. It's kind of a neat one. This is scolasite. It's just a white stone, but this is it in its natural state as well.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool. And that one, it's kind of a it's a real powerful awakener and of the higher mind. So here we are connecting with the mind again, and it really helps to clear the channels between the crown and the soul chakra, the soul heart chakra, and it allows a connection to the higher self, and it's a stone of kindness, gentleness, and really non-reaction. It really teaches us the power of receptivity and expansion. So just a really nice, beautiful stone, wonderful energy. So scolasite is one of the stones that came forward. I don't know if people will have that. It almost reminds me of, geez, this almost reminds me of kyanite, except kyanite is usually blue or black. So if you don't have scolasite or cannot find it, I think kyanite would be a good replacement. And then another one that came forward is larkivite. Now, larkivite is spelled Larkiv. I'm sorry, larvikite. I call it larvi, Larvikite. And this is it polished. It has that beautiful chatoyancy, almost like labradorite. Labradorite. And then this is in its natural state as well. It's kind of a blue, nice and yummy. Yeah. So larkivite. And I would think if you do not have larkivite, which larvikite, I'm sorry, I keep on calling it larkivite, larvikite, labradorite would settle also. Now that's like the visionary larvikite is. It reaches the sacred space between awake and asleep, and it brings you almost to that conscious entrance of the akasha. The akasha is where all of our lifetimes and everything is stored, those imprinted. So it brings you to that, and it facilitates strong inner vision and past life regression. So it also gives you an understanding required to realize and achieve the destiny of life. So this is a real wonderful stone for you to connect in with if you're really want to check in with any kind of past life work. It would be a really wonderful stone to hold on to and connect in with, meditate with. They have a lot of those guided meditations that may take you back into some past life if you choose. Or even in dream sleep, maybe before you go to bed, hold on to this, put this under your pillow, however you want to do it, and ask that anything that is important that you need to be aware of, ask it to come to you. anything from another life, all those wonderful things, that we think we've forgotten. There's all those traits and all those beautiful things are really still there. Sometimes we just have to ask to access them. So that's kind of what Larvakite is all about, trying to connect you into inner consciousness. So those are my 2 stones for Gemini.
Excellent.
Both of them are like wind elemental stones. So
I never heard of lava
Larvakite.
larvakite.
Either.
Okay.
So it's almost like mystic Merlinite also. They all
I got
have
Merlin. I got Merlinite. I have
you
Merlinite.
could probably our Gabriel indigo, they call that also. You could probably use that. That also has a chatoyancy that's similar. I mean, the energies are similar. Everyone responds differently anyway. So I think that, any kind of labradorite, something like that, larvakite is just one of those. It's a wind elemental stone. I don't know. It really looks like mystic Merlinite, honestly.
Yeah, it does
But
kind of look like the Merlinite stone.
yeah, it does. It does in a lot of ways. But it's not. It just has a little bit different type of energy. So, but you could probably definitely use that. I thought this was really beautiful though.
That is pretty.
It is.
Yeah, yeah, that's like in its natural state. So,
Thank you, Karen.
sure.
Yeah. Always very interesting. Yeah, so I was thinking about the tarot, and the card that is associated with the Gemini is the Lover's card, and I find that interesting, as the number 6, as it does speak about the duality, finding all energies within ourselves, but also connecting with the other on the outside. But for me personally, it is a invitation to connect with parts of myself that I'm not quite in touch with.
Yes.
And an invitation to see and accept them and embrace them, to become full again. And I think that the Lover's card is not just the outside partner, but also the partner that we are to ourselves.
Yes.
Of that, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I really, really go with what you said. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the mirroring from here to there. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes I personally have a hard time accepting parts of myself, and then yeah, with the Lover's card, I am reminded that there is wisdom in all parts of me. When we look at the traditional, we don't have one here right now, but there's the masculine and the feminine, and there's the angel at the top. Then we have the burning bush, and I think Eve with the fruit of wisdom. So there's a lot of wisdom to be found in this Gemini season as well. And in that card, and it's always, yeah, for me it's always how can I utilize that within myself? And yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you see the Lover's card when you get that card in the reading?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I started There's an astrologer, her name is Ruth Hadnick, Hadkin from England. And she's written quite a bit about the esoteric rulers of the signs. And the esoteric ruler, as she puts it, and other astrologers refer to it too, is Venus. And so I've now started looking at the tarot card with the two sides. I see Mercury on one side and I see Venus on the other side.
Oh,
The Venus being more hidden, because then that brings the mind. The angel then would be bringing the mind and the heart together,
Mhm.
the masculine and feminine, the receptive and the active
Yeah.
together. And so I really began to look at the Venus as the esoteric ruler,
Mhm.
the higher level. Mercury helps us to do the daily kinds of things. And then Venus helps us to get in there and relate to ourselves, just like you said, getting in there and loving those parts of the self, because Venus is about the loving energy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how I've been really looking at it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Bringing in Venus energy to
Yes,
complement
the
the
card, right.
masculine, because otherwise we only have Mercury, Gemini, masculine energy.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And I really have begun to look at that and read it back and forth. When I look at somebody, wherever Gemini is in our charts, then bringing in that Venus and Mercury together.
Mm-hmm.
so what was the name of that? You were saying the name of your that you follow. You gave us a
Her name is Ruth Hadkin, Hadkin, and
Ruth.
she's done.
Her first name is Ruth.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to write that down.
But other people, and I've long looked at it, similar to her, that you have to look at the esoteric, because everything has esoteric. For example, Jupiter is really, it's in rulership of both Sagittarius and Pisces. So that's like having the esoteric ruler of Pisces. And then the modern, well, I guess the esoteric would be Neptune, and then Jupiter would be the ancient.
Mm-hmm.
They call them the modern and ancient.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of the signs have it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I consider Virgo to have Earth and Vesta and Virgo to have Earth as a rulership.
Oh.
But most of the time it's not looked at that way. It's Mercury is rulership of Virgo.
Yeah. But Vesta would actually be
And Scorpio too.
more
Scorpio.
appropriate. I think Vesta for Virgo would actually be more appropriate, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's what I see during this whole Gemini season with the new moon, but with Jupiter this whole year, is it's even in astrology, it's opening our minds up to see it in a bigger way. The narrowness of only the 10 planets and not even really mentioning the asteroids or the planetoids, but everything is big, with all the Kuiper belt objects that are being mentioned now and everything. It's expanding.
It is expansive.
And so I think that's a Jupiter Gemini kind of thing, expansion.
Yeah. I'm bringing it all in. Yeah. Bringing it all in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I like that idea. Bringing in Mercury and Venus into the Lover's card.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even reading the cards differently. That means, when we do a card reading with tarot, having to look at it slightly different. If somebody comes and asks a question, looking at their question, are they asking a Mercury question or are they asking a Venus question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe a
That's a good
blending of
point.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, our card reading is gonna have to change a little bit, to incorporate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm, love that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. Yeah. That's a good yeah, food for thought there. Definitely gonna take that into my readings.
Mhm. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I've always thought of the lovers as, not always, but I've shifted my thinking of, people, when I first had readings done for me, they'd always tell me a relationship with another person. That was the main emphasis, and that has definitely shifted for me the longer I've been involved with cards, that it's more of loving those, exactly what you said, those parts of myself, finding ways to love all of me, that's more of the emphasis than, not that it can't be with others, but that's not how it probably, what the other cards, what the reading is about, first of all.
Yeah. I
Right.
was just gonna say that.
Definitely would, yeah,
Yeah.
would,
And the surrounding cards.
yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, exactly what you said, Dave, definitely is how I kind of picture it now, so.
Karen, how does this sit with you?
This is all really interesting. And I kind of look at the lover's card as making a choice. Who am I choosing to love?
Oh,
Um, and then I have a deck out, the Unifying Consciousness, that I've been using a lot lately. And so I pulled the lover's card because she has a different take on the tarot, but I just thought this was a really interesting depiction of the
wow.
lover
Oh yeah.
That's kind of,
and
it's a
more
heart. Is
bringing
that a
in the,
heart? Is that a
yeah,
heart
that's a
at the top?
heart
Yeah, see, there's a
uh,
heart in
and
there.
the third eye, and so
What's
it's
Yeah.
that at the
almost like
top?
it's,
Oh, is that some type of fruit, a purse?
it looks like an apple.
Okay.
An apple,
Oh,
but split in half. So it's got like the serpent and the apple,
Oh
like
yeah.
from the
I see that.
traditional
Mhm.
the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but it's just, and then there's the planets. So it's kind of
that's
like
plain.
splitting
I
and
see.
becoming two people almost, and sharing
Oh,
that center eye. But I love this depiction.
really different, yeah. The
Yeah.
unified.
Yeah, it's Lori Lytle wrote it, and then she got the artist Leo. Here's the cover.
Mm. Mhm.
I think it was a Kickstarter. I backed it and I followed her online. I met her years ago at the Reader's Studio in New York, the tarot conference, and I've just kind of followed her online. And it's a fun deck, and the backs are really colorful. She used a blue rose, and it's got the flower of life symbology.
Pretty.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's the high priestess. I
It's
just pulled
it's
that.
kind of got a yanni. It's got a yanni kind of
Mhm.
curvature to it.
Something, and she uses
Yeah,
a
and
lot
look
of
at,
the
yeah,
geometric symbols in it,
yeah,
and it's just a fun deck. So I'm still getting to know it, but it's fun to pull from.
Yeah. So let's see what message for the collective here. It's coming through.
I have a couple cards too that I pulled.
Yeah.
So did
Yeah.
I.
Yeah. Share them. Karen, I have to dive down because I think one has just fallen out of the deck.
I am using the Witch's Wisdom today.
Oh, that's a good deck.
It
Mm.
is Witch's Wisdom Tarot.
hmm.
I wanted to be, I felt blue today. Blue
Mhm.
called me, so blue was calling me. So strength came forward for the collective,
Mm.
and she is the pilgrim in this deck, and almost standing in the form of Artemis.
Is that
And
eight or 11? Is this a
and this is a
talk
14.
or right?
Oh, wow, this is number 14.
She
Strength.
numbered
14.
all her majors. She like started with the
From the
Fool as
back
the
and
last
goes.
card. She started the World as the first card.
Shifted,
World,
completely
yeah.
shifted in this deck.
Oh, it's
So it's
shifted. Yeah. So
Shifted
this
it.
would be
Okay.
14 strength, and
It'd be
really
like
what it's about, challenges, courage, care, and really it says life is full of challenges that can fill you with doubt and fear. Just know that you are enough, and basically looking at those fears and walking through them, knowing that on the other side, even if you are afraid, start something, do it, and you'll find your strength. That's pretty much where this comes from, instead of, and it is about touching into your goddess and those fearful parts of you, just looking at them and knowing that you can walk through your fear at any time. And she stands with nature, basically, with all of nature, and the connection with nature is what this card is about. I think the entire deck is about connection with nature. So
it's a beautiful deck.
it is.
It is.
So
Yeah.
strength came forward, and they start at just in the opposite direction. So
I
she gives
see.
a reason
Okay.
as to why. It's really it's an amazing deck. I haven't used it for a while. So
What's the name of it again?
the Witch's Wisdom Tarot.
Oh, which okay.
Witch's Wisdom. Yeah. The Witch's Wisdom.
Okay.
And it's got a really nice book and everything with it.
It needs it.
And a pretty little bag to put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, got all that. Cards are neat on the back side. They're
And-
bigger cards. I love bigger cards that especially when they have a lot of detail.
And it's mass produced, so it's relatively inexpensive actually.
Oh, is it? I thought it was kind of.
It's a little pricier than the mass produced, but it's good quality.
Yeah.
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 So and there's a lot of cards. There's a lot of cards. I mean, this is the deck. There's much, more cards. I forgot how many more she uses more cards, doesn't she? I can't remember.
I can't
I
remember.
don't remember. It's just she names them a little bit differently.
Mhm.
So I have to get out of my head with that. And then I tend to just ignore the numbers on the majors because that trips me up.
Me too. I just ignored it. I thought it was an 8. So I also use the Wisdom of Tula.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a fun little deck, 44 card deck, and it's written by Karen. What is that? Karen Stuth, Stuth, and art by someone else. But what came forward for the collective was bliss. I thought, and here I see all this play and fun, and just find something that makes you ecstatic. Just some cans out there, just dancing around. Just find something that brings you great joy.
Yeah.
Follow your bliss. So
well, that really is what we are
Gemini?
doing in the Gemini energy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I thought, yep. So, and those are the cards. Walk through your fears and find your strength and follow your bliss. So
sounds like a good plan there.
Yes.
Okay. And you guys have other cards. Some of these, if I have them at home, I'll post them. If I don't always. So
well, because we
them.
did a deck review yesterday, Karen and myself, from the Meraki deck. I pulled the Knight of Pentacles.
Yep.
And the Tower.
And the Tower.
And the Tower. So
Wow.
For me, the message here is to really, when things are getting a bit hard, chaotic, and maybe you feel no longer in control, in your own control, it's time to really slow down and graze and be present with nature, be in nature, and just absorb and feel your feet on the ground. Really get grounded again when things get a bit out of hand. Yeah. Karen, I think you have the
I have both of those, yeah.
yeah,
So,
and they look the same
yeah,
or relatively the same.
close enough, yes.
Yeah, totally. Anyone else for the collective?
I pulled a few cards because I can't help myself. So, from the unifying consciousness, I pulled the sun.
Oh, yay.
And that I look at that, sometimes I see a little figure in the middle there and some two little figures, and sometimes it looks like a lion's snout to me. But she has little blessings in her book for the deck, and for this one it was, may you create the world your heart and soul desire. I
Lovely.
like
That's
that
what
a
it sounded
lot.
too.
And then I have the Wisdom of Ancient Egypt Oracle, which is a fabulous deck I got on Kickstarter that the backs are gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
I got
yeah.
the Feather of Mott, lightness.
Okay.
I like that deck.
And it's about truth, justice, balance. And it says move forward with grace and ease. And then I had one more. I just recently got the Ancient Stones Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, Katie Louise. Anyways, here's the box.
Oh,
Brand new out of Hay House. And I pulled the Gateway.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And that
and what
says open,
stones are, oh, I guess, okay.
open doors, opportunities, and right timing.
Mm.
That was a lovely little trio of messages. And look at the back of this card too.
Mm.
Ooh, I love
Yeah.
that.
So here's the
Beautiful.
box again.
Mhm.
I have a subscription to Hay House's quarterly deck club, whatever. So this was the most recent book. So you get them a little bit before they're out there for everybody else.
Oh, that's interesting.
But
I guess I thought I would see some stones, ancient stones. Are they,
well, I mean, she's walking up a stone stairway and you can see
okay.
there's like fossils in the stonework.
What is that? An anemone? I can't really see.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, I know it's not. And then in the distance, it looks like a stone circle.
Okay. See, I thought they would give you a stone to
No,
in the
it's
description
more
somewhere.
stone, like big nature stone features kind of thing.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. So it's like, here's just a random card, Stone of Destiny. So it's more, not like crystal stones so much, but
Oh, well, yeah, I guess yeah, I understand. Like even some of the stones like that are in Scotland, those wonderful circles.
yeah.
That's fine. I guess I thought she would give me a write-up on a little bit of that. Because I would always like a little write-up on stones, stone wisdom.
Let's see. I'm going to look at the book. Well, this one's talking about ancient temples and ruins whispering secrets through the ages.
Okay.
The Gateway card is a guiding light for exciting new possibilities and opportunities that are rising within you and beckoning you forth.
Mm-hmm.
The ancients laid stones with such precision they aligned with the cosmos above And this card is like that for you. A moment in time where everything's in alignment. Things are
Okay,
syncing.
good. So they did reference a stone and some of the wisdom from the stone. Okay, great. Okay.
Mary Ruth, do you have a card for the collective?
Well, I just reached and picked up one of the most vintage decks, the Medicine Woman Tarot.
Oh.
My one real vintage, but the card that I got first, let me, this little blur thing. Okay. I got the 8 of arrows. Arrows in this deck are swords, but it's a very different depiction
Yeah.
of what. Remember, the 8 in the traditional tarot is the woman that's bound. But I think that it's an initiation and the person has passed and she's receiving her 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 gift because she's come through an initiation. I
Oh,
actually think the 8 of in the traditional deck, that is an initiation too of coming. It's a quest.
Yeah.
And I think that the woman receiving has passed her vision quest and come back and she's receiving her stuff.
Oh.
That's my I mean
Yeah.
that's my take on it. And I'm even thinking in the other deck, when she unbinds herself and takes off the blindfold and takes the swords from around her body, that she can pass. We all can pass. And then the other one that sort of answered this in an interesting way is that I used the Black Moon Lilith, one of my Black
Ooh.
Moon Lilith deck.
go.
And I got Black Moon Lilith and Virgo, and it says release the perfectionism, because in order to go through the quest, we have to be open to ourselves. Just what you're saying, Alexandra, about seeing all the sides of self.
Yeah.
Because perfectionism says you have to let go of saying, I choose to see this self, but I'm resistant to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what this one is. Yeah.
Great.
And I think you've seen this. The box looks like this.
Neat.
Yes. This young lady has written her book. This is not only the oracle, but she has a book that she's written about the Black Moon Lilith experience,
Oh,
which is really important in terms of incorporating it. It's funny, the medicine woman and this 8, in a funny way, the Black Moon Lilith experience is going through your own alchemy, stepping into the fire and coming out the other side. So I think that's where we all are in terms of the collective, our initiation. Everything that's happening to us right now, we're initiates of all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I agree.
hey.
Anything else you would like to share before we close the official part of this session?
No, this was really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll move on to our little mini readings, huh?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for all of you watching the replay. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you here in one of the next videos, maybe even live with us here in the Zoom room. Okay, until the next new moon in July. Bye for now.